morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told how to voice a radio. So today, I want to show you a new stadium card, which is kind of confusing, and kind of awesome, and kind of a big deal. It's Glenwood Tangle, and our translation comes from both the lovely David Hockman and the lovely Antoine Boulet. And the wording on... They're our favourites, by the way, both of them. They're joint, don't make me pick, I'm not going to pick between them. And the wording on this stadium becomes very important. Once during each player's turn, that player may reflip all coins from an attack. It's Victini. It's Victini. Now, to be clear, Victini has rotated out of Standard. It is still legal in Expanded, and it's going to be a pretty big deal in Expanded. Here's the thing. When we had Victini, now we actually had it way back in Noble Victories, got reprinted like 17 times, and then it came back around in Guardians Rising as a technically different card, but not really. It didn't matter. We had no other effect along these lines, so it didn't matter whether you could combine it or not. There was nothing to combine it with. The thing was, we then got Trick Coin. And Trick Coin was a tool that did the same thing. The thing about Trick Coin is, Trick Coin specifically said, you may only use effects that let you flip coins again, including effects from other cards, once during your turn. So Trick Coin specifically said, no. You are only reflipping once per turn, even if you've got another card that isn't Trick Coin that lets you reflip. Victini never said that because Victini didn't need to. The only thing you potentially could have combined it with was Trick Coin, and Trick Coin said you couldn't combine, so it was fine. In comes Glenwood Tangle, and I've spoken to both David and Antoine about this. Does not say that it doesn't combine with Victini. So before we get going properly here, we need to say, in Expanded, yes, this does combine with Victini, which means that you can reflip twice. And that's pretty gosh darn huge. Because let's take a simple attack like Nuzzle. We see Nuzzle like a billion different Pokemon. Nuzzle is the classic flip a coin if heads paralysis. There's a million of these attacks. The thing is, generally speaking, you've got a 50% chance, a 1 in 2 chance. But once you reflip, you've got a 3 in 4 chance, which gives you a 75% chance of paralysis. Still pretty gosh darn good. But if you reflip twice, that gives you a 7 in 8 chance, an 87.5% chance of getting that paralysis. So you can expect Nuzzle to work. You can expect to be paralysing your opponent. And of course, it's not just Nuzzle. It's any on a coin flip. Want another example? How about, I don't know, Pinsir. I like Pinsir. You see, Pinsir's got an attack that lets you flip a coin, and if heads, you take your opponent's active Pokemon and put it into their hand. And it's a basic Pokemon, and it can use double colourless energy. Cool. Well, now you've got an 87.5% chance of Pinsir working. And like I say, 75% chance you're feeling pretty good. Once you get to a 7 in 8 chance of it working, you can start feeling pretty gosh darned aggrieved if it doesn't actually work. They put, and it's only attacks, it's not abilities, and it's not trainer cards, it's just attacks. But we're getting to the point now where if you've got a flippy attack in Expanded, just assume it's going to work. Because it probably is going to work. Here's the thing though, let's flip back into Standard for a minute. In Standard, we haven't had Victini for a while, we've not been able to reflip, and I've said a million times for a million different attacks, oh man, it would be awesome if we still had Victini to reflip, but we don't. One of the most extreme of these is the Slowbro from Unbroken Bonds. You see, the Slowbro from Unbroken Bonds is borderline broken and borderline unplayable all at the same time. Now, the attack, 1 water energy, put them to sleep, no one cares. But 3 energy, Flip 3 coins, 100 damage for each heads. If all of them are tails, you lose the game. Ho ho ho! There are 2 reasons why Glimwood Tangle makes Slowbro viable. Number 1, you cannot afford to flip 3 tails. If you flip 3 tails, you literally lose the game. In order to lose a game with Slowbro now, you have to flip 3 tails twice. Now again, there's only a 1 in 8 chance of flipping 3 tails in a row. That's 12.5%. You could do it twice in a row, but it's very, very slim, the chance of you actually doing it. The other thing is, Slowbro makes a phenomenal Hail Mary Pokemon. A phenomenal, I have got to get a key KO now or I literally lose the game. And if you're going to lose a game if you don't get a giant KO, then it doesn't really matter if you flip 3 tails and lose the game. But you might really need to flip 3 heads in order to win the game. You might be in a situation where flip 3 heads and you win, otherwise you lose. So having 2, and again it's only a 1 in 8 chance. But the thing is, if you hit it you win the game, and now you've got 2 1 in 8 chances. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty gosh darn good. I'm not going to go through every flippy card right now, but I have got a couple kind of examples for you, taken from mostly recent sets. How about Seeking? And this has seen some play and some success over in Japan. 1 water energy, flip 3 coins for each heads, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Now if you don't hit enough heads, hey look, reflip them. Worth pointing out at this stage, it is reflip all or none. So if you flip 2, you only reflip if you really need to hit that 3rd. But again, you've got a chance of doing it. Porygon from Unbroken Bonds. Again, I don't think it's amazing. But remember that Porygon evolves into Porygon Z. And remember that Porygon Z lets you attach as much special energy as you like during your turn. And the Porygon that came around here, flip 3 coins for each head, search the deck for an energy card, doesn't have to be basic, reveal it and put it into your hand. So now all of a sudden, you're going to be way, way better at searching out all of those special energy ready to attach in the future. And of course, there's a million different Pokemon that just do damage. I mean, something like Dodrio from Unbroken Bonds. I don't think anyone's arguing that Dodrio is a particularly amazing Pokemon, but Dodrio for 2 colorless energy, bearing in mind Twin Energy is back. Flip 3 coins, 60 damage for each heads. Well, now you should be able to rely on getting 120 while having a decent chance of hitting 180. For a single energy attachment on a stage 1 Pokemon, and it's got free retreat as well. Again, I'm not saying that Dodrio is the best use for this, or it's some ridiculous broken Pokemon that everybody needs to go and stash in their binders and put in every deck. It is colorless. What I'm saying is that these Pokemon, hopefully, do a decent job of demonstrating how good this card can be. The thing was, when we had Victini, it saw a huge amount of play. Trick Coin didn't see that much play, but the thing with Trick Coin was, firstly, it was a tool and we had other really good tools we wanted to play. And secondly, we had Victini, so Victini was basically just better. But Victini did see a lot of play. Victini popped up in a whole bunch of decks. And anytime you really needed that flip, Victini was there for you. Well, now you've basically got either Victini with this in Expanded, which does get absolutely silly, or you've just got this in Standard, so Victini's back. This is going to see a huge amount of play. I am absolutely convinced this is going to see a lot of play in a lot of different decks. Because anytime you have to rely on a coin flip, this becomes good. But it also says, hey, you know that deck you wanted to play, but it was on a coin flip and you weren't exactly sure? Well, now you can. I think this is a 5 Wasi card. I think it's a 5 Wasi card. I don't think it's an absolute slam dunk home run 5 Wasi card like some of the others we've looked at. But I see this seeing a lot of play in a lot of decks, and that's how we get to a 5 WOSY card. But now it's over to you guys. I would love to know what you think about this. I'd love to know how good you think it is, and I'd really like you to tell me which flippy Pokemon you're going to be using it with. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, or you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where you can find out about a whole bunch of games that don't have Pokemon in, but are pretty gosh darned awesome nonetheless. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.